So I feel like that's a really big part, is to feel community and feel safe with someone or some people that you like or that you can feel like you can talk to and don't have, judgment in a conversation. I think that's a really big part of it. Communication and community is a really big part of being happy. We're humans, we're social.
This spring, students and educators from 3 schools across the region facilitated intergenerational problem-solving events in their communities. They drew on the perspectives and experiences of community members from all generations to tackle the issues that matter to them. Student-centered learning for equity requires a broad school community that sees and values its learners and empowers them as leaders.
What we're working on is a town hall to involve the community more with the younger, the middle, and the older generation. I want them to think about the questions of today and the statements that the youth, the middle generation, and the older generation state. I want them to remember that other people are going through it with you.
We put together this community event so that we could get the opinions of our community members and kind of collaborate with them to try and get a student's perspective and a teacher's perspective and a community member's perspective to try and put them all together and see, what positive outcomes we can have.
This event is gonna be a powerful event, not only for our school, but for the community once again. The young adults and the elders are finally gonna get their voices heard out there.
How are the children in our community and how are the elders? And so just questions like that to spark some conversations. Because I think it's important that we hear all kinds of points of views.
They're reaching and they're trying to understand.
Yeah, but it's giving more power back to the people.
The speakers that we have left, they're not used enough, especially schools.
Gut it out. Take a deep breath, turn to your left and turn to your right and say, I love you to that person.
So we have to be there for them and be people that they can come and talk to. And we just have to be more open for the kids, or just be there for them.
So I guess just trying to normalize having conversations like that.
We are all part of a community. What happens to one child affects everybody. So we can't say that's not a problem.
Once a kid feels like they're in control and they understand the context of that control, that's going to expand, and that is safety.
As educators, to be aware of warning signs, communicate with parents.
That's the most important thing, awareness. And awareness is a byproduct of education. So it would start with that as well. To implement it in the schools, certain signs and symptoms to look for.
For a child, your work is school. So when you come here, all these wonderful individuals are here to help you grow, in that we all have to remember that.
Bullying people is not cool. I feel like parents should also communicate with your kid. And when you communicate with your kid, you earn their trust. And that is why so many kids end up dead, because their parents won't listen to them, their parents won't believe them, and when they say something about it, they're gonna overreact. That's not what we need. We just need someone, an outlet to talk to, and someone who will listen to us.
I was able to see an adult's perspective and how they actually viewed these questions that we came up with. I feel like I'm on the same page with the adults that were here.
It's really great to see all of us learning from each other. We may have come in thinking one thing, and at least myself, I agree with Taylor that I leave thinking another thing. I really appreciated this event, and I appreciated your vulnerability and your willingness to communicate about all of these different things.
Use the skills that you have and go out into the community as a student.
So I would say that I definitely am concerned about keeping teachers around, because students don't treat them right, then they're not going to stick around.
Having teachers that are really, really good at what they do, they are going to eventually realize that and look for a job at a bigger school that's maybe going to pay them better or give them better opportunities. You still have to treat them with respect and treat them with kindness.
I agree with the kids that
showing up, right? That's something that the community needs to do for them, is showing up. And I feel like we do have a lack of that in certain aspects.
So having quality mental health supports is something we talked about. So within the school, but also school-based therapy is something that students would like to have.
When you get to your upperclassmen, your seniors, juniors, and so on, you start realizing what your parents have done for you, and you respect them more for what they've gone through to help you out as a student.
We are grateful to the schools for letting us film their events, showing us examples of what authentic, intergenerational engagement can look like.